Well, hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me. I'm Jill Bloom, Group Publisher of Roofing Contractor, and welcome to our Best of Success podcast show. It's such an honor to have with me my good friend, McKay Daniels, who is the CEO of the NRCA. McKay, it's great to see you, and thanks for joining me.
Jill, it's so great to be with you this morning. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, there's some really exciting things coming up with NRCA and Roofing Day. Roofing Day is one of the coolest things. Well, you guys do a lot of cool things, but right now we're going to say this is what it is a really cool thing that if you've never been before, you got to attend. But let's tell everybody about it, McKay. What's happened this year with Roofing Day and what does everybody need to know?
Yeah. So Roofing Day in DC is kind of as the title says, it's a day a year that the entire industry gets together and comes to Washington together to speak with one voice and advocate for us. And this is a really important thing to do because if we're not going to tell our story and to make our case, who will? Right? Mm-hmm. We've got to be there to educate and inform. And so, yeah, it's coming up here in a couple of weeks, April 8th and 9th. And the great thing is it truly is an industry-wide event. We just recently came off of IRE, and you've got the whole roofing family together there. This one's a little bit different because it's not just contractors, it's not just manufacturers. You have distribution, you have the affiliates from around the country. You've got NERCA, FRSA, MRCA, the Chicago Association, Western States. Everybody brings their members to Washington. And we go and call on Congress and tell our story. It's really fun. And you don't have to be a policy nerd to enjoy it like me or folks that follow the news heavily. It's also just great to be with our colleagues and have that roofing bond educating members of Congress.
Well, it really is fascinating. And I've been several times, McKay. And as you know, I've brought my daughter in the past, which was even more fun. Yeah. And you brought your son last year, I believe. Yeah. So it's easy though. It's a little bit scary if you've never come before. You're thinking, how do I go lobby? All of a sudden, I'm going to be a lobbyist for the roofing industry. Right. And I've heard you say before, the plumbers have always shown up, the electricians always show up, but it's time for the roofers to really show their voice. And this is our opportunity. Yes. But explain how you set this up because you make it so easy and seamless for people just to show up and connect with a small group in your state and go lobby. So how does that work?
Yeah, no experience required, right?
Yes.
It really is.
Hey, if my daughter can come and your son can go, you got it.
If a 12-year-old could do it last year, I brought my son and he went and sat with the Illinois members of Congress and shook their hands and heard the roofing story be told. It is very easy. NRCA is contracted with a firm that does this, for their profession, and you just sign up and register. You put in your address, and they take it from there. They'll schedule the meetings and give you your roster of times, tell you where to go, what time, and schedule it out for you. The itinerary isn't just Hill meetings. There's also a number of receptions and speakers and events that people can attend. We equip a team leader, somebody in your delegation that may be comfortable if you're not talking with the member of Congress or their staff about the issues with talking points and bullet points and a little bit of background about the issues that are on the agenda for this year. But more than anything, it's just putting that face and name to the industry, right? We get reports back every single time of somebody that goes, sits with their member of Congress. It's maybe the first time that member of Congress has talked with somebody from our industry. And that connection and that human face, human element really goes a long way. And then more often than not, the follow-up continues after those meetings where the member of Congress comes out to the contractor's shop or to the manufacturing facility or to the distribution center or whatnot that's in their district. And that's really when, the magic really happens because you're not just 15 minutes, it's a couple of hours perhaps with them telling the roofing story. And so there's a lot of change going on in Washington right now, a new administration, a new Congress. There's a lot of legislation being considered or being looked at, and we need to make sure that your voice is heard there in the halls of Washington.
Yeah, well, it's just so awesome to walk those halls and you don't really understand what it is until you do it, and you're there and you see, you feel the presence. Yeah, it's just, there's so much history there as well.
Yes.
But well, we're so grateful that NRCA does this every year. And if somebody has not registered to come yet, McKay, where do they go and how do they sign up?
It's very easy, right on NRCA's website, nrca.net. You can do /roofing day. And again, it's April 8th through the 9th, although you're talking about the history, Jill, the NRCA team is setting up tours around Washington for April 10th. So if you've not been to Washington, D.C. before, again, we try to make it fun and interesting for folks. So if you've not been to Washington before, or even if you have, the government affairs team there really goes and does a great job of setting things up to give you something special or something unique, and happy to help tailor it to folks. So 8th to the 9th is the official program, and 10th is optional tours of Washington.
Oh, and it's always beautiful that time of year anyway, because the apple blossoms are all out, right? Or the cherry blossoms.
Cherry blossoms, Gorgeous.
Gorgeous for sure. Well, McKay, thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in DC here, April 8th and 9th. But again, it's nrca.net, correct?
Yep.
/roofing day.
/roofing day.
And you can also see, if you happen to be on our website as well, you'll see all the information there as well. So you got 2 spots. You can find the details for Roofing Day. And again, if anybody has any questions for us, that is roofingcontractor.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for all our free content, especially make sure you sign up for our e-newsletters, follow us on our social media channels so you can stay up to date in all the great content and interviews we are doing, just like we are today with McKay. But most importantly, please stay safe and healthy, and we can't wait to talk to you soon.